Initially, you want to line the large boards up so they are as straight as they can get. And then with the one board that you cut into four, you're going to line it up on the back to be more of a brace and support. You're then going to want to screw in the boards. I use these number 2 Phillips because I felt like they had a better bite to them and I wanted to make sure it was extra secure. And I actually, you see 5 here, you're gonna get 4 in the one board, and I just had an extra that I put on the back, and I used at least 5 screws to make sure they were all in. Then you're gonna add the legs in. To attach the legs, I use the hardware that allows it to be screwed in. And that's the reason I went with these legs, is so I could be able to change them in and out how I want to, as well as if you need it to be a taller table, you can do that as well. And then you see me here screwing them in. There's 5 screws on each hardware. And I also went through and tightened some of the screws for the back support that I seen were a little loose and not screwed all the way in for whatever reason. So you see me doing that here, and then I just put it on the other side as well. And I just tried to make sure that they were in equidistance to the corner, so that way when the legs were flipped, it didn't look all over the place. But I feel like there's a lot of room for error as far as that goes, because it's hard to tell. And with it being screwed and the way the legs are, where they're mostly round and they're not like a square, you can't fully tell if it's not all the way tightened in the same direction. I feel like if you had the regular rectangle square legs, you may be able to tell more if it stopped and it's not lined up right, but that's not what I'm dealing with. So that's what you see me doing here. Okay, so now I'm going to just screw the legs in to see if they're straight and they look right and everything's going good. And I'm going to flip the table over just to make sure everything is leveled and went as according to plan. As well as, while I'm about to stain it and I want the legs to be on for this process, you can do it without the legs, but I really don't have a suitable way or area to paint right now, so I'm gonna do it in the grass and I want it on legs to do that. Okay, so here it is. I feel like it came out so good. It looks so good. I'm so happy. And now we're about to stain. Just make sure you take those stickers off before you stain, and the nails, that is also included. Now, you don't necessarily have to do this process depending on what wood you got, but I did sand a little bit just to make sure it was fully smooth. And you want to make sure you focus on the sides, especially because that's the side that's going to most likely come in contact with people the most, and the top, of course. But with the wood that I had, the surface itself was mainly sanded already, so I just went back over the sides, especially the areas that were cut, and made them as smooth as possible. I started with a grit that would smooth it and then one that would polish it. So I did do 2 grit sizes, and then you'll see me start to stain it after I'm all done sanding it down to the smoothness that I desire. And I focused again on the sides especially. So after you're done sanding, you're gonna wipe off the dust that came from it and just make sure the surface is nice and clean and ready for staining. You guys, this was the best part because I feel like this is where it all came together, and this elevated it so much. I just love it. And right now I'm doing my fall themes for the picnics, so I wanted a darker wood because I felt like it could go with both of the themes that I have available right now. So that's what I'm doing. was, I think it's a dark walnut, and I loved it. I did about 2 coats, 15 minutes at least apart. And now, when you do this, you are going to want gloves, of course. And I prefer to use a rag versus brushes because I did not want to buy another brush to do this. And what you see here is me testing a small spot on the back of the wood to make sure that this is the color that I intended to be. So that's what I'm doing here. And you want to make sure you shake the bottle up real good beforehand, but you don't want to just start staining the wood unless you've used the stain before on that type of wood to make sure that it's the color that you're intending it to be. So right here, I'm just testing it out and making sure that I'm not gonna freak out by pouring it all over the top. The only thing I will say is that even though I prefer to use a rag to do staining, I did have to go and get a brush to make sure I got in the creases and the corners, especially on the legs. That was a huge issue for me, so I did end up using a brush as well, but I did use the cloth for majority of the surface. I feel like it saves time. And also with a brush, it was kind of weird because you don't have anything to dip because the hole is so small. But all I did was pour it on the surface and then just use that to move it around. And I did about 2 to 3 coats and about 15 plus minutes in between each coat. So I definitely wanted like a deep walnut color, and guys, I'm so excited for how it came out. It's exactly what I wanted. I was so excited when I was painting it because I was like, this is what I wanted. This is exactly what I wanted. So I'm super happy with how it came out. And if you attempt to do this, please let me know. I want to see it. You can tag me at Bubbalub Luxury Picnic, spelled Bubba Luxury Picnic, and I would love to see what you come up with. Also, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment. I'm not a professional, but if I have the answer, I will definitely give it to you. Or I'm really good at figuring out where I need to ask the question to get the right answer. So maybe I can just shoot you a link or a website that I use that really helps me. Usually when I do projects, I get a little bit of an idea from multiple places. So the base of this table was from one person, and then the fact that there's a such thing as removable legs came from a different video. So yeah, and then this stain came from another idea. So it's I just bring a lot of things together to be perfect, but I thought it was perfect idea to add these removable legs because I'm a very indecisive person. So I know I'm going to want to change the legs at some point, most likely, or make them larger for whatever reason, or there's just so many options when things can be changed out that I don't have the anxiety of being like, I'm going to be stuck with this option forever. As well as it's easier to transport. So, yeah. But the legs gave me a tough time when I was staining. It really did. The only thing that I would recommend if you were to sell this versus doing it for yourself, as I did this for this video, if you were to sell this, I would stain the back. Like if I was to sell this, I would completely stain the entire thing. In this video, you won't see me stain the bottom of the table. However, I do recommend that if you're going to start selling these. And honestly, I would. Why not? It's so easy. It was so easy. It was so much fun. And people are willing to pay you to do this. And it takes one day, not even, and it's really fun. I enjoy it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, tag me if you end up doing this with the removable legs as well, or maybe you have like a nice spin. Any ideas, I am open to them. If you see some cool legs out there that also have the removable option, let me know. Shoot, one day I might even put like metal legs on this table. Y'all, I think I just came up with an idea. I need to find black metal legs. It might be a thing. So after you're done fully staining this, you're going to want to add the cutting board oil. And when I was talking to the guy in Home Depot, he assured me that it wouldn't leave like a super oily residue on top of the table. It would just protect the table to still be safe to eat on and everything like that. So definitely do that. And then you are finished. Set your table up, your picnic table, however you so desire. And maybe it's not a picnic table. Maybe this is a coffee table in your house. How cute are you? That's so cute. So yeah, whatever you end up doing, let me see. These tables can be used for so many things, and tables like these are so expensive these days. You just saved yourself some moolah doing it yourself. So congrats. And it's not even that hard, and it's so rewarding. I love this table, you guys. It's heavy duty, like back in the day furniture. Y'all, I love it. So I hope you guys try it and let me know how it goes for you. And now I'm just showing you guys like a quick table setup after I put the oil on. I let the table sit for most of the day actually. I had some errands to run, and then when I came back I put the oil on and I did a quick table setup just so I could give you guys a quick overview of what it would look like with some things that I had around the house for my picnic business. And again, this table doesn't have to be used for like just picnics, but it is beautiful for that, as well as in-home coffee table. Remember to follow me at Bubbalub Luxury Picnic. That's Bubbalub BUBBALUB Luxury Picnics. Thank you guys. Bye.